She is the president and CEO of Gracious Vine Ministries, and their motto there is be encouraged, equipped, and engaged. So I know that we're going to be all of those things and more as Joanna brings us her message today, which is a timely and very anointed message called Knit Together. So let's give her a warm, full gospel welcome. Welcome, Joanna.
How many of you actually do knit or crochet or embroider? A few of you, yeah, very cool. I unfortunately do not. I don't think I'm that coordinated, but I have learned actually how to cross stitch. And a few years ago, I had a friend who has since moved to Florida, and she had created these beautiful cross-stitch stockings for my family, 4 of us. And they were absolutely gorgeous, little rooms, so my sons had their own little room, and there was a cute little Barney in there, and you know, when they liked Barney when they were really young, and trucks and toys and balls, and then there was one for my husband and one for myself, and they were very, very beautiful. And then she moved to Florida, and we lost contact, didn't have any fellowship or contact with her anymore, and then I got pregnant and I had a daughter. Well, now what? What am I going to do? Buy her a red one with a white fuzzy top? You know, no. So I ended up calling around every place I could. I called Michael's, I called Frank's when it was still here. I called all of these different craft places to see if somebody there, or a sewing store like Joann's Fabrics, does anybody there crochet or knit or, you know, I'll pay, you know, because I wanted the set to be complete, right? And I ended up coming in contact with a friend who also cross stitches, and she had a pattern for a little girl's room just like it in her book. And I was like, this is it, this is exactly what I need. Will you do it? And she's like, no, I won't. I was like, why? Don't you like me? Aren't we friends? Won't you do that for me? And she was like, no, you need to do it for yourself, because you need to see the value of it. And you need to put the energy into it so that you appreciate what it was that you received to begin with. I was like, oh, darn. Okay, if there wasn't a spiritual truth in that, right? So sure enough, she gave me the pattern. I went and I bought all of the supplies, and it took me over a year to create and to make this thing. I put it down when I got bored, or got frustrated, or it wasn't coming out exactly right. And then sure enough, after about a year and a half, I had the stocking that I needed for my daughter, and by the time she was 2, she had a Christmas stocking that matched everybody else's. So it was very cool, because it was through that process that I really did come to appreciate the value of what was created for me. And because we're going to be talking about knit together, there are so many different aspects of things that are knit together in life. All right? Symphonies are knit together with the various different melody lines and the harmony notes, the stringed instruments, the percussion instruments, the brass instruments. All of these different aspects are woven together by a master composer, and they bring all of these elements together, and they're woven to create an absolutely gorgeous, classical, timeless piece that we can enjoy, right? Bach, Beethoven, hundreds of years ago, now still being enjoyed to the full. Other things are literary works. Various classical novels that have been written are woven together by the master, the author, who starts and finishes that novel. And he has a theme and a plot and scenarios, and there's tragedy, and there's dramas that take place. There's the antagonist, the protagonist, the hero, the heroine. All these different elements are woven in together and create a timeless, classical, beautiful literary work. Tapestries are created from different elements, and I have a few things here today. Here's a tapestry, just one. You have all of these banners around the church, right? Here's a tapestry. Somebody designed that. Somebody purposed that. Somebody planned that. Somebody put the energy into creating that. And there's all different elements that are worked into that tapestry to display a picture of what was in the master's understanding and heart and mind. Okay? That is what we are. God has woven us and knit us fearfully, wonderfully, beautifully, uniquely created each one of us. And I'm going to read to you a lot of different scriptures today. In Psalms 139 is a very famous passage. A lot of the times when somebody's having a baby, a lot of the times people will write this passage in their card and stuff. And it says, For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I have been fearfully, remarkably, and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and this I know very well. My bones were not hidden from you when I was made in secret, and when I was formed in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All of my days were written in your book, when as of yet not one of them had passed. How beautiful is that? That God has spoken and decided that he was going to weave us and knit us in our mother's womb. So I would have to go so far as to say that there are no accidents. Okay? Nobody here is an accident, which is a blessing for us to know, regardless of what we've heard, perhaps from others around us. God purposed and brought us forth by his will. And that is a beautiful thing. God has woven and knit us in many different ways. Physically, he has knit us so that we are physically knit together. And when you look at the science of it, it's fascinating. The DNA structure alone is fascinating. The proteins and all of the different aspects that are interwoven into this double helix that is this microscopic little strand of information that has been put into each and every individual cell of our body that determines our hair color, our skin color, our eyes, the shape of our ears, the length of our nail bed, like everything, every aspect of who we are. And that has nothing to do with our environment. Those things are interwoven right into the DNA. And there is enough information, more information, in a DNA strand than in a 600-page telephone book. That's not an accident. I don't think anybody throws together the alphabet and creates a telephone book. It's planned, it's purposed, it's methodical. God has planned and purposed us, and he has interwoven it into us very physically, which is really a blessing to know. It's something that we can rely on and be excited about, that God has made me who I am. Another way that he weaves us and interweaves us is personality-wise. He has created each one of us uniquely, personality-wise. We have different temperaments. We have different talents. We have different giftings. We have different likes. We have different dislikes. I like sour and spicy. My husband likes steak and potatoes. Very nice and plain, very even keel. My husband's a very even keel person. I like the flamboyant, I like this, So he balances me out and I excite him a little. So it works out great. Which is another way that God weaves us. He weaves us interrelationally. He weaves us with friendships, with sisters, with family, with husbands. He weaves us together. And he creates, through that weaving process, a beautiful picture of what it is he wants the world to see. And there's this, of course in Genesis it says that the two shall become one flesh. There's a weaving together that takes place in a relationship, in a marriage. All right? And it happens with the family. And just like a tapestry that's loomed, when God weaves things together, one of the reasons he says in Malachi that I hate divorce is simply not because it's a holier than thou statement, I hate divorce, or everything you do about, would be a bad poo-poo on you type of a thing. No, it's because this is what it does. I've woven you together to create something beautiful, but divorce does this. It tears, and it wreaks violence upon the pattern of which he has set forth and that he has desired to display. All right?